5 of The Bachelor. This is Will DeFreeze here with Dave Ruff.
Hi, Will.
What's going on, Dave?
Well, I'm enjoying a cold brew. Weird, right? 2017.
Have you been drinking cold brew?
Yeah.
I feel like people don't know that.
No, they don't. I don't talk about it enough.
Mm-mm.
And people aren't submitting columns saying that cold brew sucks and that I suck for talking about it
Yeah,
so
we've
much.
only gotten one of those so far, but we'll see.
You're not getting pub, by the way. Actually, I might pub it just to murk you in the comment section.
Just do a complete rebuttal.
I don't even need to. I think the DCO Nation and the fans are going to rebut it for me.
That's what you're just living the lifestyle anyway, so you don't actually need to form a response.
No, dude. I get it, man. There's going to be haters out there.
Well, for the loyal listeners, we have Dylan out today. He's sick.
Yeah, he's got a little bug.
As Dave said, it's good that he didn't come in and try to work. We don't like it when people come in sick.
No, like normally it's endearing and a quality you like in someone if they try to play sick.
No.
But no, this isn't the flu game. He's not Jordan.
No.
Just stay home.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, I don't know what he was doing there. It was kind of irresponsible to be around his teammates when he was playing in that game.
I agree with that. You think Scottie Pippen like that? I don't think he
I'd
did.
be like, dude, get out of here. Like, are you trying to get our whole team sick? We got a championship.
I mean,
on
what
the
was
line.
Luke Longley thinking at that time?
Exactly.
Was Luke Longley even on that
I was going to
team?
say, was Horace Grant wondering what the hell was going on?
What about Steve Kerr? We could just go down the list.
We could just go do the entire lineup. All right, we do have a special
BJ
guest.
Armstrong.
We do have a special guest today, though. Spencer,
Oh, hey.
our marketing designer for Man Outfitters. Is this your first podcast appearance?
This is my first podcast appearance.
That's huge.
Thank you.
Let's see.
So what are your qualifications?
Yeah.
How'd you end up here? Like here in this podcast room?
Well, let's see. I watched The Bachelor,
She's a big Bachelor fan.
and I dressed up today. So
This is dressed up for you.
I know.
No,
Well, I mean, you're going to be on camera.
you're gonna be on. Did you know that we record on camera?
I did not know that.
Well, welcome to the recording.
Thanks.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we have a spin-off podcast. If you're a regular listener and you're subscribed, this is probably popping up in your feed, and you're probably hearing us talk about The Bachelor more than you like. But Mike is currently just completely derailing this and maneuvering.
Wow,
everything
this
in the
is
room.
such a great start.
We're doing this so you don't have to fast forward to other parts of Touching Base, and you can just get your Bachelor fix here. And then
We don't even need to explain ourselves.
No.
This is a party pod. We're gonna do it if we
it's a
want
party
to.
pod. Thursday or Friday, we're going to come back with a regular edition of Touching Base.
And thank you all so much for the listens we acquired last week on the regular Touching Base. By the way,
Last week, it was an emotional episode last week. We had every single emotion covered.
yeah, sweet emotions,
Mm-hmm.
all of the emotions.
It was a popular one.
very popular.
Actually, we also have to do our little Man Outfitters promo. We have a new code.
Are you familiar with Man Outfitters?
Me, yes.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, if you've seen an email come across your computer screen, Spencer probably had a hand in that.
That's what. Is it just emails you do, or do you do other stuff?
All marketing.
All marketing. Okay.
That's why Man Outfitters is constantly looking fresh.
It is the best marketing.
Yeah.
It looks so
That's
good.
what people are saying.
Yeah.
Can I get like a hair flip in there?
Yeah.
Flip the hair.
We have a new code. It's TB10. Not to be confused with Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady number 10?
He is
He's
12.
Okay, TB12. So, yeah, TB10 stands for Touching Base 10. It gets you 10% off your entire order. We do have a line that we teased last week launching today on Man Outfitters, don't we? Is Vineyard Vines going live today?
I believe it is.
That's big.
Soft launch.
It's a soft launch.
Soft launch.
You'll be seeing more of it tomorrow.
Okay.
They used to call me soft lunch in college.
No, they didn't. No one called you that. But yeah, use TB10. A lot of discounts on there right now.
A lot of good stuff. I'm wearing a shirt from there right now. Patagonia is a brand you can get on there.
I'm wearing a Man Outfitters Henley right now.
By the way, just because I'm going to get out in front of this, I'm hitting them with these today. Just the all blanks. The tubes, the blank tubes.
I respect that.
Yeah.
We're pro tube socks here.
I just didn't want to use all my gym socks on days I'm not going to the gym. So
Okay. I get it.
I just wanted to explain that because I know people are going to hit me on the Reddit.
I don't know if they
I'm
were,
tired of getting
but
fried, man.
let's get into this episode recap.
What are those? Yeah, let's get into it.
My Matthew Stafford shoes.
Yeah.
Micah, can you scroll down? This week started off with Corinne and Taylor in their fight from last week under the blanket that they shared.
Do you have to be Team Taylor or Team Corinne, or can you hate both of them? That's what I want to know.
Okay, well, here's what I want to know. Spencer, who are your favorites on the season so far? Before we actually get into the episode,
Can I say nobody?
you can say nobody.
Because Nick is probably my least favorite on the entire cast.
Were you Team Luke being the Bachelor?
No. No.
Who did you want to be the Bachelor then?
It was Slim Pickens.
Slim Pickens.
So maybe this season was just off to a bad start anyways. But no, not Team Taylor. I think she thinks she's above everyone else. But Corinne is just filled with drama. I kind of love her.
Okay.
Dave, you liked Taylor for a little bit.
I still like
you
Taylor.
had a Taylor phase. Okay.
We'll get to it. She gets a lot of airtime in this episode, but she let Corinne flip the script on her. She
changed the narrative.
Yeah, she was the aggressor, and then she started playing a defensive fight.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it later, but it didn't really work out for her in the long run.
Okay. Do we want to run through some of the stupid quotes that they had during this?
They're so
Please.
bad, but we have to.
Corinne said, "You're hurting my feelings, Taylor." Taylor responded with, "Maturity and emotional intelligence can kind of go hand in hand."
Mm-hmm.
Corinne didn't really know what emotional intelligence was. Is that correct, or did Taylor say that later in the episode?
I don't even know what emotional intelligence is.
I've used emotional intelligence to talk to people, but I don't think I actually knew what it meant. I think I was just trying to make them feel inadequate. So
It's
whatever.
over everyone's head.
Yeah. I don't know. And then Corinne pulled Nick aside and said that Taylor was here for all the wrong reasons.
Come on.
You have to be self-aware enough not to bust that quote out during the show.
And I think that's wrong. I don't think Taylor is there for the wrong reasons. I think Taylor's just she's arrogant, which I like.
I mean, she has a PhD. What
She
is
has
she
a
doing on The
P-
Bachelor anyways?
Correct. That is a very good question.
I don't know. Taylor rubbed me the wrong way this entire episode. She didn't do anything for me. They teased a 2-on-1 date in the Bachelor Fantasy League if you answered the questions. So we knew that was coming. I don't think they teased that last week in the preview for this week. Did they?
I don't think they did. This is kind of how it goes, though. When you have mid-season, two strong personalities clashing, you're going to get the 2-on-1. They did it with Chad.
If you thought the 2-on-1 was happening with anybody but these two, you were incorrect.
Or you've never seen an episode of The Bachelor.
Exactly.
Right.
What was the guy that Alex? Was it Chad and Alex that did it together?
Yeah, short
Little
military guy.
Alex.
Oh, little Alex.
I miss him.
I miss Chad.
I miss Chad. I miss both of them.
I think this franchise
You know
misses
what?
Chad.
Is Chad and Corinne need to get together.
that would be the most electric couple on Paradise.
That's what I'm saying.
It needs to happen.
They're probably going to make that happen. That would be hot. That's TV that people tune in for.
Yeah. No, that's must see. I actually didn't even watch Bachelor in Paradise last year, but I will watch it this year if Chad and Corinne can get together. And then they had the rose ceremony. Taylor got the rose. The only people eliminated were Astrid and Sarah, or Astrid as Crick Watson calls her.
It's probably my favorite nickname he's done because it's so juvenile.
No, okay, you can't say that Astrid is more juvenile than
Pubehead McGee
for Nick.
Okay.
Neither of those are very grown up things. to
No,
call
I mean
people.
they're not super creative. They're just funny.
I couldn't tell you who Sarah is.
What?
We were wondering that too for a sec.
Which one? I don't even know which one she was.
Yeah, you got
Do
a
I need to
roster.
bust
Zoom
out
in,
my roster?
Zoom in, Micah, on the roster.
All right. Got all my girls here.
Do you have this for every episode?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This is just prep for today.
Okay.
Wait, where did you print that out at?
Let's see. I designed it on Illustrator and printed it out, so it's kind of like my own little mock-up.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
You know. Let's see. Sarah. She's on the last page. It's alphabetical order. Here in the green.
Oh, she's the Newport Beach teacher.
Still not doing anything for me.
She's SoCal.
Well, she's better than 90% of the other girls on here.
Nick did a really good job of, and I'm going to do something we said we wouldn't do. He kept around a lot of the, he got rid of some good-looking girls. I'm just going to say that. And he kept around some girls who were very nice girls. And I'm going to leave it there.
What does nice girl mean?
Just good girls that you want
Is
to
that like when
text with.
Is that like when you're single and someone's trying to set you up and you ask how they look and then they say, "Oh, she's nice," and you're like, "Oh, okay.
Yes.
I see what you're doing here now."
I shouldn't say that because I think that Dylan's take on this cast being the least good-looking cast ever, I think that's wrong. I think there's some good-looking girls, but I just think he's gotten rid of a lot of very pretty girls.
I think it's wrong too.
But that's his choice.
I think they're all beautiful inside and out.
He's the one trying to find love, not me.
Is he though?
Do you not think he is?
No.
What? Okay, so what are your issues?
He's 36.
With Nick?
I mean, do you really think that fourth time's the charm?
His parents do. His parents are very concerned about this right now.
If I was a parent, oh gosh,
You wouldn't.
I would not let my daughter on a show with Nick running it. There's just no way.
See, you probably don't know this. This is only my second season watching this show. I started off with JoJo my first. I skipped Bachelor in Paradise, and now I'm here. So I didn't really know much about Nick coming in. I knew what I read online, that he was kind of a shithead.
Still
And
is.
I quickly learned that he talks with his mouth shut and he mumbles. And apparently he's a really good skater.
What? Oh, yeah. He's decent on quads.
These are the things I learned about him. But I actually like him.
No, I like him more than I
enjoy
thought
him
I would.
now.
Oh.
There's some things about him that he put forth on this episode that I'll get into that bothered me, particularly his just large or glaring lack of swag.
Well,
I will say that comes about later
there were a couple times
on.
in this episode where he did what you warned me about, Dave, where he just checked out of conversations with people.
Yeah.
He was just like, fuck it. I don't care anymore.
It's tough because they put him in a lot of positions in this episode, particularly to where it's like, all right, man, you just got to go walk around this museum and like talk about stuff. And it's awkward and there's nothing to talk about. Or in the haunted house we'll get to.
He's a terrible fucking dancer.
Yeah. We'll get to this, but Rachel said, oh, Nick's got swag. I was thinking, no, he doesn't actually. I don't know if
he doesn't have swag.
Maybe she hasn't seen the tape yet, but I bet upon watching that and further review, she'd take that back if she could.
Okay, well, they left Wisconsin, which the girls had to have been very happy about. Even though I think Wisconsin in the summertime is probably a pretty nice time.
On a farm?
On a farm might be a little not ideal. And they went down to New Orleans. They did a one-on-one date. Rachel got it. They went to the French market sampling oysters, hot sauce, and I guess, okay, Micah's rundown of this is ridiculous.
Can I throw this in here as a major red flag for Nick? Nick is 36, and he's never been to New Orleans.
I'm
what?
30, and I've never been.
Dude,
been either.
What?
But at this point, here's what you need to understand.
You went to Tech. How did you not? People.
That's a very long
I know,
drive.
but people. I know, but it's like a party crowd.
I mean,
whatever.
Dave, I put it more
you
on.
can fly, Micah. It's 2017.
It's like
I'm sorry. I just think a guy like Nick, who presumably was cool in college. I don't know.
You'd think that Nick would have gone just on another season, maybe.
Yeah, I was just shocked. I'm sorry. I'm always shocked when people have never been to New Orleans. Clearly, I take it personally.
Well, it's a much
as
bigger,
someone from Dallas.
It's a much bigger southern destination.
That's fair.
Than it is northern, I guess.
That's fair.
That being said, I do feel slightly ashamed. I've never been there, and I do need to go there.
Remember when I invited you to my bachelor party and you didn't go?
It was yes, I do. This was early on. Okay, this first a little explanation. This was early on in my time in Austin. You invited me a week before, and this was on the heels of Weekend of Dave, which pretty much ruined me for about a month.
Yeah. Wow.
Anytime, like you said, anytime you put your name on a weekend, you're going to get hammered and bad things are going to happen. And that's exactly what happened that weekend. Anyway, back to The Bachelor.
Never forget.
The producer staged a parade, which was very awkward. I don't know why they needed to have that.
There's not that much to do in New Orleans that's TV friendly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of great food, great culture, great places to drink, but outside of that,
they couldn't just go drink hand grenades.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't go. Well, I guess they could have, but I don't think Rachel's that kind of partier, in my opinion.
Well, no, she's responsible. What we learned is that her dad is a federal judge.
Yeah, don't cross her dad.
A Clinton appointee.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you know anything about her dad?
No,
offhand?
I've never practiced it or stood before him in the court of law.
Spencer, are you a connection with Dave on LinkedIn?
Am I? Yes.
Yeah, she.
Yeah,
we talked.
he-
That
yeah.
means that you are a second connection to Rachel now.
Very
because
nice.
Rachel's
she is,
in the
She is
network.
in the
Welcome.
network.
Well, he endorsed me for Snapchat last week. Thanks.
I did.
That's huge.
I
I kind of forgot about that. I don't know. Their date was very uninspiring.
I like Rachel a lot.
I know.
She
I know
seems
you do.
genuinely. I think she used the word smitten, but I think she's legitimately she likes him.
Here's what I don't get though. He says how into her he is, but I don't see how he is that into her just based on the interactions that they've had.
Well, I think that there's got to been a lot that they haven't shown that's been on the cutting room floor because she went like 2 episodes with getting maybe 5 seconds of airtime.
She got the first impression rose, so we know that he liked her from the get-go. But between that and this date, like we never really saw them interact that much. I guess she did get some good FaceTime on another group date where he gave her a rose right away.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not seeing the chemistry yet.
Breaking news: Rachel is my power player of the week.
Who was your power player of the week last week?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
No. Oh, it might have been Danielle L. Or
Yes,
no,
it was.
Yeah, it
Was it
was.
Salon?
So essentially, your power player of the week is just the person that gets the one-on-one date.
Not necessarily, but it in these 2 instances, yes, and I believe it's coincidental.
Okay.
But look,
Why is she your power player of the week?
Here, let me tell you why.
She calls her dad daddy.
She calls her dad daddy.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I understand why it's a little weird. I think that, and Ben Higgins tweeted this and echoed the same sentiments. She is either going to win this season or she is going to be the next Bachelorette.
That would be a snooze fest.
I agree.
I would not watch.
It would be very boring if she is the Bachelorette.
I just think we have not. I don't know what's going to happen this season. I am not familiar with the spoilers, nor do I want to be. But we have not heard the last from Rachel after this season.
She doesn't have the hot mess quality that I feel like you need to have in order to be to carry the show.
I don't think you have to have the hot mess quality. If you look at some of the previous Bachelorettes, like Andy, I don't think she had one. I know you weren't really into the show then.
No. But I'm just saying
You can't have you're not going to have a Corinne be your Bachelorette.
No, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there needs to be an overly dramatic characteristic that you have that strays away from being reasonable. Like JoJo showed it when she would just break out crying, and then like when she was outside of the plane hangar, she just like broke down and started losing her mind.
Don't
I
you
see
dare.
Rachel being too mentally strong for this. I feel like she would reason through everything, and there would be no twists and turns through the season.
Like she would just have a logical
Way
of going about
she'd be
the process.
way too good at deciphering everything.
That's a good point. But nonetheless, she is still my power player of the week.
Okay.
Micah, hit the music. There is no music.
Power player.
We should find some music.
You should just have it be a goal horn for hockey.
Or just a hype horn.
Yeah, that's true. Micah played the hype horn.
Boy, that's going to annoy the shit out of people. Don't.
Yeah, please don't do that.
The hype horn's very loud.
At their date, they also danced to noted band, or is it band, or is it a single person?
Oh, you mean Lolo?
I'm talking about Lolo.
Hit us with the Lolo.
Who is Lolo? Okay, hold on. Do we have any Lolo fans right now? Are you a Lolo fan? Were you familiar with
As
Lolo?
of last night, never heard of it.
No, you are a Chris Lane fan, correct?
Of course.
Okay.
Okay, Lolo is a singer, not a band.
She sung.
So you knew who Chris Lane was last week? I had no clue who he
no.
was. Oh, okay. But now you're a fan.
Yes.
Did you hit him up on Spotify?
Only because of Dave.
Okay.
The lyrics just spoke to me.
I'm probably not gonna look up Lolo on Spotify this week.
Why you waiting on the world for a favor? This is your life. Go ahead and change it. You're the brightest star in the sky, but no one's gonna know if you never shine. Why you waiting on someone else to give you the things that you want yourself? Oh, you're the brightest star in the sky, so go ahead and shine. Yeah, go ahead and shine. That's from the hit song Shine that she performed last night.
By
By Lolo.
Man.
This song's actually kind of dark. I was looking through the lyrics here. What about this one? We're all strung out and lost, but can't speak of it. Wars you're fighting in your mind, they own you. Are you going to get out if the drugs bail you out? Who is going to save you now? Take another drink, but you feel nothing, Will.
Jesus.
Like you're the only one who don't need saving. That's an interesting choice for a one-on-one date. I'm just saying.
I'll say this about the one-on-one date. I'm happy that they danced in a crowd of other people dancing and not on a stage.
Thank God. They
with
probably
everyone
listened.
looking.
The producers listened last week and heard how
What
mortified
I didn't
we
enjoy
were.
was Nick dropping it low on Rachel.
Yeah, don't do that to Rachel, Nick. And she said she did him a favor and said Nick has got swag, but Nick does not have swag.
She shouldn't have said that. She should have just confronted it and said Nick is not a great dancer, but I like that about him because he's not a good dancer.
Neither is she. She just kind of.
Well, that's an awkward.
Wiggled.
That's, to be fair to both of them, that's an awkward scenario with the parade. Are you talking about the parade dance?
I was
Well,
talking
they're
about
The bar dance.
I was talking about the bar dance with Lolo.
Okay, that okay. You can't judge someone's dance abilities based on a one-on-one date because that's just not the opportune time just to grind.
What?
There's a time and place to. There's a time and place
What
to
are
grind.
the
and that's
opportune
not-
times to grind?
Oh, I don't know. Prom,
That's true.
kung fu on a Friday night.
No one grinds at kung fu.
I'm bringing grinding back. Catch me at kung fu grinding this Friday night.
I'm not going.
You're not invited, so don't show up if you're not invited. All right, what else happened?
We had the group date where everyone went besides Taylor and Corinne. I'll just say it. This group date was probably my least favorite date in the history of the show.
It was overproduced.
I hated it. It was just lame. Like, don't take him to a haunted house.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No. Someone asked me that last night.
What about you?
Nope.
Okay.
Do you believe in ghosts, Dave?
Yes, I do. I do believe in the paranormal.
What has made
But
you...
this date sucked. It doesn't mean I like the date.
Let's be honest. There's nothing paranormal happening in this date.
No.
That house is not haunted. Boo, the housekeeper.
Okay, let's talk about Boo for a minute.
There were two great characters in this episode. Boo, and then the other one was
Molly.
the guy who jumped on the boat
Yes.
for the 2-on-1 date. I don't even think he had a name, but his entrance onto the boat where he just stomped onto the boat was phenomenal.
He was not impressed by Nick.
No.
Is that the guy with the blonde ponytail?
Yes, that was
That
him.
looked like Dog the Repo Man?
Yes. Yes, that was
Dog
exactly.
the bounty hunter?
Bounty
Yep.
Hunter.
Dog the repo man. That's his cousin.
Okay, so is there anything on the group date that we really need to talk about that much?
It was just a bad date. It was awkward. I mean,
If you're busting out a Ouija board, you're grasping at straws.
you ever done a Ouija board?
Yes. I owned one when I was younger.
Did you contact any spirits?
We attempted to, but it was usually just me moving it with my hands.
Did you ever use it in like with your friends and you end up spelling out like wiener or something?
All the time, every single
Yeah.
time, it was something inappropriate.
Yeah. It's like, wait, the spirit's telling us boner.
We
Like,
would
why?
always use it to like see who had a crush on somebody. Like who does Dave have a crush on? And then we'd spell out like some random name of somebody that they're like, ew, no, I don't have a crush on them.
Dude, savage.
I know.
You ever used a Ouija board?
Once.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you contact the other side?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Missed out.
I don't.
I have used one.
Did you contact
course
the
you
other side? As the only person in this room who believes in ghosts. Micah, do you believe in ghosts?
You don't? Do you believe in the afterlife?
Yeah.
You do, but you don't believe you can contact someone once they've crossed over.
No.
Do you believe? Okay, we won't go down.
Let's save this for Thursday's podcast.
I have had 2 paranormal experiences in my life, and we will save those for our brand new paranormal podcast debuting next week.
Mm-hmm. What's it called?
It's called Paranormal Podcast with Dylan and Dave. You're
That's
not
tight.
on it.
Am I not on it?
No, you're not.
Okay, cool.
You're not. You're an unbeliever, as they might say.
So on our run sheet, whatever we're calling it, we've got that there was the creepy doll Molly.
Yeah, dude. And by the way, the painting of Molly, she looked 17 in that painting.
She didn't look 8. I
That's
was
not
like,
an
she looks
8-year-old.
way older than
Let's
8.
Let's get that straight.
The Ouija board led to the producers hitting the lights. A chandelier crashes. Then they just went to Corinne, getting ready for the date, popping champagne in a bathtub, and putting a face mask on.
I said this last night on Twitter that whole group date set the paranormal and paranormal sciences back at least 20 years.
Yeah.
Possibly into the Stone Age.
Yes.
It was bad.
It was not great. I don't know. I really have no takeaways from the group date.
The only note I have is Boo.
Boo.
Just wrote his name down.
Boo was
on
great.
the notes.
Spencer, I don't know if you know this. Dave and I are big Vanessa guys.
Me too.
Fell in love with Vanessa the second I saw her on the
Look
screen.
at all these
She's got
hearts.
hearts on the sheet for the kids at
She's
home.
too good for Nick.
She is
Let's
too
be
good for
honest.
I
Nick.
agree with that.
The only time I was bummed with her was last night when she started to say that she was like feeling a ghost or something when the candle was flickering. It's like that's what candles flicker. That's what they do.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's a different Danielle. Or wait, we're talking about Vanessa. I
Vanessa.
thought Danielle had a comment too. Blonde Danielle.
Yes,
She was
they
with
became
Vanessa.
friends. They became friends. I also did some stalking, and Vanessa and Danielle are still friends. They're on their Instagram together a lot.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that means?
I think that it means that they're probably the two more normal people on the show, and
I can
they
see
realize that.
It's like JoJo and Becca 2.0. Hard to beat that pair.
It's a good tandem. What do you think about Vanessa? Because, there's one member of this podcast who's not here right now who's not impressed with Vanessa.
How can you not be impressed with Vanessa? She is shining above the rest of these girls.
Yeah,
You're telling me.
But again, way too good for this show.
she is.
Do you think she's got Bachelorette written on her?
I mean, I think it's bizarre that these girls are actually think that Nick is worth fighting for in the begin with. So
I'm not sold Vanessa even thinks that right now.
I like that you brought that up because I'm getting that vibe from her.
Like I think she's just here now to like win, but I'm not positive that Nick is the one in her mind.
She can do better.
I don't know. Let's toss it to the other podcast and then get back to the 2-on-1 date that the people are
We
asking
need to
for.
talk. We need to do some paranormal talk
All
with
right.
the no mics on.
Hit it.
Hey, Dave, a lot of people don't know this, but you have another podcast, don't you?
Yeah, I do. That's great. You brought that up, Madison.
What's it called?
It's called Dudes Doing Business, and you're on it too, and so is Joe.
That's right.
What are we? We're like a business podcast that you need to be listening to.
You should. I mean, if you want to have success in your business career, then you've got to listen to Dudes Doing Business.
Yeah, I mean, look, we give you valuable insight regarding what we're doing here at Grand X, but we also bring in people from the outside to hear their perspective on shit.
It's just all business all the time, but
Yeah.
none of that pretentious bullshit that you get with other business podcasts.
No way.
We're a different kind of pretentious.
Different kind of pretentious.
The kind that
America's
you-
favorite kind of pretentious.
That subtle kind that's hard to pick up on.
Exactly. All right. Well, yeah, give us a shot. Dudes Doing Business. Subscribe. 5 stars. Party.
Are you sick and tired of hearing super white, sad old men bitch about fajitas and miatas while discussing the recent Bachelor episode? Then head on over to the Inside TFM podcast. I'm Jake Goldman, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Jared Borslow.
You won't find Will DeFreeze on this podcast. That guy's a bitch.
What a boner! Yeah, so if you want to hear something relevant to people not over the age of 35, why don't you come on over to the Inside TFM pod?
Subscribe on iTunes.
Hello, I'm Ross Bullen, and I'm here to tell you about our sports podcast called Backdoor Cover, hosted by myself and Dylan Chivalry.
What's up, Billy?
How you doing, Dylan?
Fantastic.
Great. If you like sports or you have a gambling problem of some kind, we are probably the podcast for you. Again, the name is Backdoor Cover. We're on iTunes and SoundCloud. Every week we talk about the biggest stories in sports, pick some games. We talk about life.
We just have a lot of fucking fun.
We do. We have a great time. Hit us up, Backdoor Cover.
All right, let's confront this 2-on-1 date. It was between.
Dude, Mike was in my lap. Chill. The
Sorry.
Mike, not a guy named Mike.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It was between Taylor and Corinne, the two rivals of the show. They went on one of those. What are those boats even called?
They're not. You know what though? They're not even like. Corinne is an alpha. I don't think Taylor's at alpha yet. Like if it was Corinne versus Vanessa, this is weird. This is like Taylor like coming up to get airtime.
Yeah.
It's because I don't think she's had any
Didn't work
connection
out
with
for her.
Nick.
Didn't work out for her.
Spoiler alert: she's gone, and I use quotes.
Not officially. She's back.
No,
Right.
she's gone. Like
Is she though?
they previewed next week when she comes back to like talk to them. It's like this is going to last like what
2 seconds.
2 seconds and then it's done.
It's manufactured drama in a season that has been mainly without it. They had to do something.
I said this earlier in the podcast, but Taylor did nothing right for me in this episode. All she did, like when you're arguing with another girl and Nick knows it, what you have to do Darius Rucker said it. The best revenge is living
Let her-
well.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're gonna say let her cry.
All she did, all she did was sit there and look like pissed off with like pursed lips the entire time. If you're Nick, you're sitting there like, okay, Corinne's actually like having fun and being a little bubbly, and Taylor's sitting there with her like head down, looking at Corinne with a death stare the entire time. That's
She let Corinne frame the narrative
yep.
from the moment they had that little fireside chat.
And she became a victim of that.
Yeah, and then she let that define her for the rest of the show. Unfortunately.
Taylor said, I don't have a nanny. I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. If Nick gives Corinne the rose today, he's thinking with his dick.
Wow.
Strong.
Those are strong words.
What does that mean exactly?
What does it mean?
Like he's thinking sexually.
Let's go back to the
Yeah, I
bouncy
think
house.
he's thinking
Oh,
sexually.
yeah. Yep.
Well,
I hope that's not the case.
no, I don't even know if it's. I'm not like a doctor, but I'm not even sure it's possible to actually think with your.
No,
Private
I don't think there's
parts.
neurotransmitters in your private.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
there are. Who knows? Can someone email us? Let us know.
Yeah, if you're a doctor, please get in our comments and let us know.
Well, the
if
guy
that's
who writes
possible.
the recaps, a doctor. Maybe Crick can
This
tell
is true.
us.
Maybe he'll address it in the recap.
Yeah.
They did a tarot card reading. The reader said it was too intense, so she sent Nick and Corinne away. If you're Taylor, you're like, oh, fuck.
Have you ever had a tarot card reading?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I'd be open to it. I feel like they just make generalized statements that you form opinions on yourself.
So you're saying they're all frauds?
You know what? I'll say that. Yeah, I'll say they're all frauds.
Go
yeah.
there.
I think that's fair.
Jeez, you just singed the hair on my eyebrows. That was so hot.
I know, scorching. Corinne ratted Taylor out for calling her stupid, and then they made out in a swamp.
Why are all the 2-on-1 dates between the two, fighting parties? They're always like in the woods or something. Remember Chad and what's the guy, Alex?
Alex wore like combat boots.
They had machetes and they were like chopping through like brush.
Or when they left Olivia on that beach and
They left
just
Olivia
sailed
on the
away
beach.
into the
Did
sunset.
they leave
I
somebody on a
forgot
cliff
about her.
in Ireland, or was that
That was
wasn't
Olivia.
2-on-1? Oh, okay, that was her.
I believe so.
I have a soft spot for Olivia.
Really?
I do.
What
Wait,
was she
why?
on?
Do you know her?
No.
Because she was in Austin. She's in Austin.
She's went to Westlake.
Oh,
She's an Austinite.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Have you ever met any contestants on the show?
Yes, but briefly. I actually met Jasmine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did
How
you
did
hide
this
this
come
from
about?
Oh. We actually have a mutual friend. I met her before a Cowboys game.
Did you know she
Brief.
was going to be on the?
No.
Oh.
No, not a clue.
Give us thoughts. Give us the dirt.
I mean, she doesn't get a whole lot of airtime.
I like her. She's got good
She's
personality.
got spunk.
I think she now dances for Golden State.
Yes.
At a girl.
I like
for
her,
her.
but I don't see her going very far. I think she gets sneaky drunk. I think the drunkest person in the show is probably Corinne. I think Jasmine also seems buzzed in her interviews.
I
Just-
would be too.
I'm
yeah,
gonna look
I
out
would
for that.
definitely be too.
That's all. We're gonna look out for that.
I mean, I took a drink last night. Every time they said emotional, manipulated, mean girl.
They were full of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I was drunk by 7:30, so
I don't drink on weeknights because I've got to get up and work.
Yes, you do.
I drink high brew.
Okay.
I drink cold brew at
Stop.
4:30.
Enough with your cold brew.
Go.
I don't know.
I love this note.
They
bicker.
continued fighting, and then they bicker, and then they did the. Okay, so Corinne got the rose. Did you anticipate that? Either of you?
yes.
Okay.
I thought so.
I think we all knew that she was getting the rose.
Well, they can't get rid of her this early. Who's
No.
going to carry the season?
They got so my feeling is that like they got rid of Chad this early, but it's because he posed an actual threat to people in the house.
Yeah, Chad was going to throw hands
Like
with somebody.
they were. I think the producers were like, maybe it's better if we don't have like an actual murder in the house. With Corinne, it's just like, well, we're just gonna get more like trouble brewing with her.
yeah.
So when they left her, Micah's doing sign language right now.
Oh, here we go.
don't
Can
read
I
sign
chime in real
language.
quick?
Yeah, do
Hey,
it.
why
Love it.
not?
I wouldn't put this on the producers at all. I just think Nick wants to have sex with Corinne and then never talk to her again. And
Valid.
so until that happens, he's not going to get rid of her.
This is valid. I think this is true.
So she
And I think the producers would have liked to murder on Bachelor. last season, but I think this is Nick's choice. He likes keeping her around.
I agree. I actually agree with that. People always say that the producers have more of a hand in the show than I actually think they do. I think Nick still makes decisions and everything.
That's interesting that Micah chimed on to give us an anti-producer take, as he himself is the producer of this podcast.
That's how transparent Touching
You are,
Base is.
yeah, that's true.
I'm of the opinion that the producers don't decide who, at this point, don't decide who comes and who goes. They do. The producers had a heavy hand in this episode, but not on that decision.
Nick's going to decide who comes and who goes. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Okay.
How
do we come back from that?
We talk about the voodoo cleansing that Taylor had.
All right, hold on a sec. I wrote this down or typed it in. Like that's demeaning for whatever that was. Whatever ancient ritual.
If you're Taylor and the producers come up to you and they're like, "Hey, we're doing a voodoo cleansing," are you just like, "Get the fuck out of here! Why am I doing this?"
You don't. Have you ever had a voodoo cleansing?
I have not.
Have you?
I have not, surprisingly. But the whole thing from the start to finish, the ritual dance.
Yeah.
What was that?
Inappropriate.
Do we know what that was, Michael? Do we have like a note? Like, was that a particular sect of?
It set voodoo cleanses back years as well.
It did. They finally get to go mainstream, and it's on The Bachelor.
I did like that.
It's not fair.
Corinne asked if she could get a voodoo doll specifically for Taylor.
I don't mess with voodoo dolls. Ever since that one Brady Bunch, when they were in Hawaii, remember that? It was like the little tiki doll thing.
The only voodoo I really know is the one from Friday Night Lights, who was an option quarterback and wanted to go to LSU.
Yeah, voodoo.
I don't know. Then the episode ended with Nick and Corinne jetting off into the sunset and
making out on the boat.
Then they previewed
in the swamp.
In the swamp. Swamp makeout. Swamp makeouts are the best makeouts.
That's what they say. What's Shark Girl's name, Spencer?
Alexis. She is still here.
Making out with him with a Nick Cage mask on.
Oh.
Yeah, I missed that.
It's her worst
storyline.
nightmare.
That was weird. Who hates Nick Cage? Her?
She does not.
Was that like her fun fact thing? Like she's afraid of Nicolas Cage or something?
I believe so.
Well, she's never seen The Wicker Man. Great movie.
I have not either.
Oh, check it out.
My favorite Nicolas Cage movie is Gone in 60 Seconds, but I know I'm a scumbag for that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It was my first ever DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that movie.
So, Crick had a good tweet last night that I don't think got enough play. When they were doing the ritual cleansing over Taylor, he's had something like, this is going to be her origin story for when she becomes a supervillain. Like they're going to pan back to this moment of her getting whatever, if that was sage they were blowing over her. I don't know.
I'm not an expert in voodoo ceremony, so I'm not sure what kind of herb it was, but yeah.
I think it was probably sage. I think that's a popular one.
Is there a girl named Sage on this?
No. There is a popular MMA fighter named Super Sage. So you can see. It's true. He rips apples and pineapples.
No, Sage is one. Isn't there a Sage? Isn't that where Nick hooked up with that girl at Sage's wedding?
Jade.
Whatever.
Close.
Very close.
Close.
One syllable.
Hard A.
Oh, Miss Liz.
She's
the one that hooked up with Nick at Jade's wedding.
Okay.
We still got Septum Girl though.
Jamie with an I.
She's really just flying under the radar, which is
seems
hard to do
nice.
with the septum
I can't
piercing.
get past the septum. That's
hate
all I
her.
see.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to her than the septum.
But that she's a leslie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think she's bisexual.
She's bisexual. I mean, that's why she's here for Nick.
Yeah.
I think. But she's not here for the right reasons. She's just here to stir things up and get on TV.
You know what's sad is that she's from New Orleans, and they did like this whole thing in her hometown, and she got like 15 seconds of airtime.
She probably like just denied anything. She's like, no, I'm not going to do this stereotypical New Orleans shit.
I don't.
She would have
her.
loved it.
I don't know. I don't like her at all.
Well, you just don't like her. Is it the piercing?
It's all the piercing.
Yeah.
Septum piercings freak me out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
It's
people
like a
shouldn't
face
get them.
tat.
If it's your thing, do it. Like I'm sure that I do things that you don't like, but I just
No.
they give me the willies, man. I don't know.
They give you the willies.
Yep. Should we read some of the responses we had in the open thread?
Yes, we got some good ones.
Micah. Actually, I could just read them off my phone too. It doesn't really matter. We asked, go up, Micah.
We prompted you, the listener and reader.
Said, if you were a contestant on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, what would you do when you exited the limo on night 1? Dave, do you have an answer for this?
Let's get to some of these real quick, and I'll think of something funny.
Okay. Commenter Shooter Shooter McDabbin said
Good name.
he would stick to a classic introduction, nothing bizarre or corny. All right, maybe.
So
All
high.
right, classy.
Yeah, so like you just shake her hands. That's not going to get you anywhere.
What did Jamie say? I've got balls.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
the nose, God. The septum again. It always goes back to the damn septum with her, huh?
Well, it's
Jeez.
week 5 and she's still here, so
It's clearly working.
it worked.
I like this guy, PGP engineer, Boobluge.
Yeah, I don't know if they would air that.
So
That seems like more of an MTV thing that they would air.
yeah, that's like a mid '90s spring break.
Crippling anxiety. What we're getting here is better usernames than responses at this point.
No, this is a good response.
He said he would pass in the limo and roll up in a Miata.
You could
Fair.
probably swing that if they're going to let people ride up on camels and whatnot.
If they're going to let Corinne just get a bouncy house, they're going to let you get a Miata.
yeah,
We didn't
You could-
talk.
you
we
could
didn't
rent a
talk
Miata
about
for
Corinne's
cheap, trust me.
spread after her like hot tub session, where she just had a steak, a plate of chicken wings, and like a ton of other stuff.
oh yeah, she killed it.
It looked incredible. Living the Dream said, "Go in for the hug, but hit her with the dab right before." Fair.
Yeah.
It might be dated by the time the episode airs. Noted Bachelor enthusiast and contributor Kyle Banduho, a.k.a. Crash Davis, said, I'd have a Nerf basketball and get Chris Harrison to sneak up behind her so I could dunk on her ass, then go get drunk.
Man, that's Kyle for you.
That might be my favorite response so far.
I like that.
I like the idea of doing... I've always been a fan of those office videos where people are dunking on each other. Was there ever a Grand X one, or do we need to do that on Dylan when he comes back?
We should probably just do one on Dylan.
Okay.
Shotgun a beer. Okay.
Not
Yeah, a lot
even-
of drinking.
Okay.
This is cocky. Read this one.
I'd set the
From
tone by
Desk
getting out,
Jockey.
looking her up and down, and simply walking past her without making eye contact. Girls love to chase, right? Play hard to get. Isn't that how it works?
Is that how it works?
Ooh, no.
Wait,
I
why?
feel like you'd get sent home if you did that.
That is not how. Yeah. Not a good call.
Okay. Well, I've thought about it, and all I would do is I would get out. I would be on a call. This is on brand. Everybody saw this coming. Just get out. I would be on a call. I would go up. I would give her like the classic and stay on the call and then just walk right in.
No.
And then she would be
You're
wondering the
going
entire
home.
time who's he on the phone with.
You're going home if you're doing that.
Then she comes in, she finds me, and she asks, "Wait, what was that about?" And then I make something up and say, "I've got a sick family member."
Okay.
So thanks.
why would you say that?
So then I got the sympathy card. Boom.
Why wouldn't you say you
She
were
can't send
why
me
would-
home.
Why wouldn't you say you were calling your sister to say that you just saw the love of your life or something like that?
Look, that's
That
cheesy.
has first impression rose written all over it.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
I think I know what I'm doing, man.
I don't think you do know what you're doing.
I think I do.
Real
I
Donald
like
Trump
this
said,
one.
tell Billy Bush to stay in the limo. Cheat kiss Bachelorette and comment on how she looks fantastic.
Okay, that is.
Okay, I'll give you points for
a
creativity. But
Oh man.
someone said, walk up with the confidence of Leo, give her a rose and say, you can hand this back to me later. You know, that's actually not bad. I feel like that's had to have been done before.
Yeah, I think that has been.
Okay.
This 20-something says. Oh, that's the
No,
same
that's the
one.
same thing.
Oh,
It's
it's a double
repeating.
post.
Let's see. I would have brought Nick a 4-leaf clover if I was on this season of The Bachelor because it's his 4th time and considered a good luck charm.
That was an actual legitimate response.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you. Who was that? 26 is the new 21. I bet that's a new user.
What is 30 then?
I'll tell you what 30 is.
Pop a
after.
bottle of champagne and shower, everyone. Got to let her know you're a good time.
I actually like that a lot.
I think the hair and makeup people might get a little upset if you're just drowning the Bachelor.
Popping champagne like we won a championship game.
No.
Oh, this is not
These
helpful.
people aren't even responding at this point.
At this point, this is
Another dab.
Someone asks if the butt flu is what Chevrolet has. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, that was fun. Thank you for your responses. There was many more. We just didn't get to them. We didn't have time.
I don't know if we have much more on this week.
I
do
got
we?
nothing. Oh, you know what? I do have something. This is the first time this has happened, and Spencer, I'm glad you're here for this because my power player of the week, Rachel, just happens to be my bad and bougie pick of the week.
Wow.
She is both power player and bad and bougie
What
pick.
qualifies her to be
Ooh.
your bad and bougie pick
Just
of the week?
everything. She is both bad and bougie.
Okay. Okay.
This has never happened before on this podcast. Who was your bad and bougie pick of the week?
I didn't think about my bad and bougie pick of the week before the podcast. I'm going to go with. I mean, naturally, you'd think that I'd go with Corinne for the second consecutive week because she's being both bad
Yeah.
in her nature and bougie with what she's doing.
She's eating steak
She's
after
eating
like a
steak
bath and champagne in the
hot
bathtub.
tub.
That's actually a very good point.
Like she's pretty much the definition of bad and bougie.
Have you ever eaten
Has to be.
steak in a hot tub?
No.
I haven't either.
Yeah, her
Squad goals.
Her entire bathroom session didn't look like anything I've ever done before.
No.
It looked pretty solid.
I'd
though.
like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. How awesome was the JW Marriott suite in New Orleans?
It's beautiful.
It was fantastic.
Shouts to them.
Shouts to
Right?
them.
Maybe they'll actually go somewhere cool next week.
Do we know where they're going?
I don't think so.
To be continued.
TBC.
They need to stop doing to be continued, as if like
Yeah, stop.
something crazy is going to happen every
Yeah,
single
y'all
week.
need to
I know
chill.
that they do it every single episode, but like, it's just not doing anything for anybody.
Spencer, where can we find you on social media? Or do you even want these people following you? Yeah, you do. You want them.
Do you even want these people?
I mean, sure, why not? I'm pretty much only on Instagram these days.
That makes sense.
TSM.
What's your handle?
Oh gosh. Probably just my name, Spencer Whetstone.
There you go.
Spencer Whetstone.
Yeah,
That's WHET.
that's right.
I'm Dave, as you know.
Where can we
At
find you, Dave?
DCarterRuff on Twitter, at DCarterRuff on Snap, at DCRuff on Instagram. Thank you guys who were listening to Dudes Doing Business yesterday, by the way. You got me over the 250 hump on the likes. And then get me on LinkedIn. The network's open. Respect the network.
Respect it. Are deal closers the only people allowed?
Yes.
Okay. You can find me, Will DeFreeze, Twitter and Instagram. That's pretty much it. If you want to find me on Snapchat, just go to Postgrad Problems in my bio there. But it's
Wow,
too
that's
long.
fantastic.
Too long of an explanation. If you're not already reading our Bachelor recap article, make sure to check it out. It's the best in the game.
Yeah.
Facebook will tell you that.
Facebook will tell you that.
Pretty-
We talked to Zuck, and he said it is. So.
Yeah, like I wouldn't talk up his recaps if they weren't the best.
Yeah. If it sucked, I wouldn't talk it up.
We wouldn't be probably doing this podcast if it sucked.
Right.
He built up our Bachelor brand single-handedly.
Yeah.
And tune in later this week. You got to think that if Dylan's still sick with this whole butt flu thing, that we're gonna have somebody else wild on here.
Yeah, we got some offers in there, or some requests. People want Mr. Frat, the king of all frat.
Bad
back.
news, he's out Thursday and Friday.
Where's he?
I don't know.
Well, we're just gonna have to throw a wild card in. Maybe we'll have Spencer back. I don't know if you're ready for that podcast. So that one
It
gets a little wild.
I got a sneaky feeling we're gonna have Dylan back.
Dylan will probably be back. Yeah.
Either way, subscribe on iTunes, hit us with the 5 stars, and call and leave us a listener voicemail.
Indeed.
Might do them again sometime soon. I don't have the number handy, but it's somewhere on the site, so just go figure it out if you're that thirsty.
That's
for
not
it.
helpful, but
No,
yeah.
it's not helpful at all.
Just go find it on the site.
All right. We will see you guys later this week. Spencer,
Fantastic.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.